Hello, everybody. I believe we're live. Looks like we're live. How's everybody doing? See if I can see the chat okay. See if it's working. You can put something in the chat and just let me know everything's working okay. I'm waiting for Galaxy to join us. You guys are probably going to be bored tonight until, well, Galaxy and I, we don't have a lot to say usually. But there's a few things. Hello, Greg. How you doing? I mean, sorry, Ben. Hello, Ben. How you doing? My mistake. Yeah, just waiting for Galaxy to hop on. Um, like I said, there's only a couple of things I wanted to kind of catch up with him because I know he's kind of been away from the chase a little bit. So I wanted to, visit with him live. And then around 7:45, Hammer Time is going to join us. Talk a little bit about Stoof.com. And I believe he's going to join next week, maybe a few others that just kind of chit chat on Stoof.com. Yeah, I'll save my comments for Stoof.com when Hammer Time shows up. Hello, Hooli. Thanks everybody for jumping in. I hope you're not expecting much, but we'll see what we can do here. I have one thing that I wanted to share. And maybe it's been said out there and I've just missed it or but I'm sure it's probably been out there, but I don't know. Something I just clued into recently, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. Maybe we're supposed to be paying attention to that. We've got the auction website, we've got stoof.com, we've got the stoof.com Wayback Machine info. We have all this stuff going on that it's kind of jumbled together. Anyway, it's something that I wanted to bring up tonight. Hello. What are you doing? Trying to get the link. Technical difficulties as usual. Oh, you got a new phone? Oh, well, I guess I could. I guess I could. Okay. Yeah. No, it's just me right now. Chris isn't going to join us till about 7:45. Watering while we watch. Yes, yes. He's just going to join us for about 15, 20 minutes, but that's not till about 7:45. I just wanted to chit chat with you for a little bit and all these fine people out watching me chit chat with you right now with the phone. I'm live right now. Yes. It's all good. Hey, we shoot from the hip here. Well, see, now that I'm setting stuff, y'all are getting an earful. Now that I'm setting my stuff for upcoming event, so now that makes it so much easier. Anyway, yeah, it makes it official. Okay. Okay. Bye. So that was Galaxy. He's going to join us in a second. He's got a new phone. He was worried about getting the link on his email. So we'll get it all worked out. as usual, technical difficulties. I'm just a professional amateur, as Cy Robinson would say. Oh yeah. So any questions out there you guys have for me? I need to check on Discord real quick. So I'm not very happy with Stoof admin. I sent Stoof admin some um DMs. Pretty interesting. I didn't receive anything back. Maybe because it's a holiday, Juneteenth. Maybe they're just took the day off. I don't know. I'm curious if anybody else heard anything from Stoof admin. I'd ask him a couple of questions. One of my questions. So my question was just curious as to how many guesses have been made since the beginning of Stoof.com to current date, and do you keep a tally? And then I said, "Hello, I know you're there." And then I said another one message. Well, I'm sorry, that was the 18th. Today was the 19th. I said, well, I'm waiting for some kind of reply, anything. Then today at 1:25, I said, going live tonight, anything you'd like to say? It could it it could be answer to my previous questions, or here's a new one, a movie clip hit. Ha ha ha. Nothing, didn't receive anything. So then said another one at 2:12. I said, I bet if I feed you tacos, you'd talk. LOL. Nothing still. So at 2:43, I sent an email, another message. I guess it's a holiday, so maybe you have the day off. I don't know. I just find it curious. I've sent Stoof admin several messages and not received anything. So I find that interesting. I don't know how many other people have sent messages to Stoof admin and haven't received anything. Let's see. Stoof admin responded to folks a bit a few months ago, but I think they're shut down a bit as we were closer to the final update. Oh, so there's a final update, Ben? Oh, here's Galaxy. So there's a final update. That's news. You think there's going to be a final update finally? I mean, we have no confirmation really. There's no confirmations except for we have confirmations on the movies when you figure out the clip. We have confirmations on the songs that are on Stoof.com. Those are pretty easy. Those are easy to figure out. We know Kelly's picture is up there, which had to do with Illinois Ghost. That's confirmation. I don't know. There's just not a lot of confirmation. Hello, Galaxy.
How's it going, Brian?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
What did I
So,
miss?
so Hoolie's in there. Jeep Girl Jody. Hello, Jeep Girl Jody. Hope you're enjoying your game. Glenna Friedman, Eric Nomadic Madman, Hoolie, Ben Treasure Warriors. Pam asked a question. If you take away all of the searchers' opinions and rants, what do you have? Chaos? I don't know.
The official story.
The official story? That's a good one. I like that. Mm. Someone put a good theory out there that Stoof admin maybe doesn't actually know anything. Well, from what Hammertime received, that's what I was under the impression about Stoof admin was they were just handling the site and being told what to do. Anyway, I'll get off Stoof.com because I know Galaxy doesn't want to talk about Stoof.com, do you?
Hey, it's your show.
Hey, I'm having you on so you can talk. Just you.
Can you update me? Has there been anything
Uh,
worthwhile?
the, it's all the same stuff, the same usual stuff. You know, I don't know if you caught any of Greg's show last night. Of course, it's been taken off.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he went over the top and it got taken off. So,
Oh,
um, But yeah, they had a long conversation. There's Davy B in the room. Hello, Davy B. I'm gonna get to Australia someday, maybe. I'd love that's on my bucket list, but I don't know if it's gonna happen anytime soon. Um, yeah, Galaxy, I know you I wanted to have you on because I know you've kind of been out. You're kind of have distanced yourself from the chase, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, I shoot, man, I can't blame you. You know, so Chris, Hammer Time, it's going to be on a little bit later, and it's just only going to be for about 10 or 15 minutes. We're going to talk to him, but because we're setting it up, I'm setting him up for next week when he's going to be on with maybe a few others that want to join. But I dabble a little bit in the stoof.com thing, but my frustration is the only confirmation we have is what the movie clip is once it's guessed. Um, there's usually what do they call that? There's like a little speech, like a what do they call those? I'm I'm lost for words here. Like a pep talk, kind of sort of. Like never give up. It's just that simple. Things like that, you know. And then you have the songs that are on stoof.com, which those are pretty easy to figure out. Now they each come with like they're either shortened, you know, or they've been clipped at a certain timestamp or something like that. But other than that, there's no confirmation of anything that we're getting right. That's the most frustrating thing, you know. So be thankful you're not paying attention. I mean, the only thing I do is give my thoughts to Hammer Time, and sometimes when I'm on Discord, I throw out a few things, you know, the things that I notice or something. So yeah, I'm just about as distant as you are, honestly.
Yeah,
Now
at
you,
this point, it's so drawn out. I
yeah,
I don't know how everybody isn't like that already.
right, right. I hear you. I'm slowly wearing down, honestly, to say the least. Um, I probably, I mean, I don't know. If I just got a wild hair when JCB sign comes out, I might participate, but it's not looking very good. Um,
Now, why do you say that?
I think I'm just burnt out, honestly. You know,
Eh, it's
this,
solely from this too, right?
yeah, it's pretty much solely from this. I mean, granted, I still have my journey that I took, and you know, I can still hold on to that just fine. I don't have to have the chase as part of that anymore. You know, I'm willing to accept that, you know, and move on. Now, would I still go to the World Series of Finn each year? Heck yeah, I'd go see these people. I'd go meet up with them. I had a good time when I was in Vegas. It was kind of fun to kind of put people's faces to names. So I kind of enjoyed it. I didn't there was no drama that I remember. And there might have been a couple of little things, but I didn't pay any attention to it. So I just enjoyed the time I had with everybody and got to meet a few people that I knew from the chat that I didn't know before, you know,
Hmm.
like Cheap Girl Jody. She's in chat now. She was one of them and her husband. Speaking of which, I was hoping to get a hold of them and maybe have them on sometime this summer. So yeah, I'm just as about as distant as you are. I mean, I don't listen to anything live per se. I kind of wait till afterwards and watch it. I fell asleep listening to bit Greg's live last night. And I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, these people are still talking the same stuff.
How many
Well,
hours?
I don't know. This seemed like they were on like 4 hours. I don't know. It seemed like it was a long time. That's all I know. There was a lot being said. Now you have to take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying?
I just get sick of hearing the same things over and over.
You, you know, that is the thing, isn't it?
Hmm.
it just maybe gets set a little bit different, or yeah, I don't
And
know.
through the whole time, there hasn't been like one thing that's been like a sure fact.
Well, I can agree with that. I mean, do I feel like something's around the corner? I feel like something's around the corner. I mean, we're going on it's 4 years now. Um, if we go by what Lee was telling us, like the statutes of limitation is 4 years, then my gosh, we should be close. Now, what that is, I don't know. Did you listen to the show last week when Lee was on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of jarbled. We were having some issues, and as we normally do, but we fought through them. But she had actually talked to Shiloh.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It
But
was.
but again, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't you know what doesn't make sense to me is if there was something fun and exciting, why are only like 3, 4, 500 people on the hook?
Yeah.
You had thousands of people that would have been paying attention, but I just don't think there's anything special for the people remaining.
Hmm. Like I said, I've been hopeful that I feel like maybe something, what that is, I just don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know if it's just a book deal. Well, okay, so I've thrown this out there before. Um, sorry, I'm typing real quick. Yeah, Alan Kelly said, "What's around the corner? Another corner."
Yeah.
But oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, there was I don't know if it was an interview or an article about Forrest talking about how he had boxes of searchers' letters in his garage. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, now that would be something interesting. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that there were some recordings that, of Troy, if you believe all that, which I assume that's all true, but recordings of Forrest talking about that, then, well, if there's recordings, and I'm sure Shiloh, I'm a believer that Shiloh had a deep conversation with his grandfather. Not to mention, I bet he had a lot of conversations with his grandfather. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's Searcher's stories that, fulfilling, you know, Forrest's wish, possibly. I don't know. It's just a thought. I don't know. Like I said, I have no answers. I just have guesses and theories. Do you
Just
think that's a possibility?
I don't think it justifies all the time everyone is wasted.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, just it's kind of like the chest. So the chest from the FBI FOIA, the black and white pictures. Don't tell me for a second Shiloh hasn't seen any of those pictures. He's familiar with that vault. Just like the picture I chose today
You think you
from
think that
scrapbook 158.
hmm,
No, I mean you know I don't know if Ben has asked Shiloh about the vault pictures. I'm pretty sure Ben's probably got screenshots. I'm sure a lot of people have screenshots of them, as soon as I shared them, you know. Um, but I mean, Shiloh had been in that vault, I don't know how many times, he has. I mean, they were that close. I don't know that personally,
Did
but
that did that I can't remember. Did that prove that it was in the vault when the book was released or no? It didn't, did it?
yes, the book didn't get released till 2010
And
or
that was taken in 2009?
2009. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got Ben's story about July 2009, that he ran into Forrest, that magically, that altercation with Forrest and how he said he hid a treasure in the rock in the mountains, maybe that's what he said. So I'm not going to discount Ben on that. I mean, that's his story. I mean, the timing is awfully interesting, to say the least. Ben says, I had a conversation with him about those screenshots. Nothing I can share. Also, nothing that helps us either. Okay, well, so obviously there's Ben admitting that he shared the FOIA pictures with Shiloh. So my next question would be, because Candy and Shiloh is the only ones having the conversation with Candy and Ben are the only ones having a conversation with Shiloh, then I assume that Ben has had the conversation with Shiloh about the chest that was sold at Heritage, the 19th century. And possibly the JF marking that's on the chest too. Yeah, there's like I said, we can spitball day all day long, but it's not going to get us anywhere. And that's the frustrating thing is that's where I'm kind of, I enjoy, okay. So I've gotten to where I enjoy this, but in the beginning, it was scary as heck because I'm not that kind of person just to throw myself out there on YouTube land. But I just thought maybe I could offer a few things. And if I didn't, oh well, no harm, no foul. You know, plus I've managed, by doing all this, I've met you, I've met Jason, I've become friends with Greg, I've met all kinds of people. So hello Davio, I didn't say hi to you. Hello Zozo, missed you, sorry. Golden Key. So Ben says, I did, Bart. I showed him an image of the chest with the made in France. He replied with, looks like a chest sold at auction. Clever dude. Yeah, I think I do remember that now. I do remember you mentioning that in Discord. So have you, are you into Discord? Are you doing Discord much anymore? Or are you just kind of not even doing that?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
get,
like that right there, what are you supposed to do with that? You got a clever comment from Shiloh about it.
yeah, yeah. Looks like a chest sold at auction. Well, okay. Yeah, it's the chest. It's a chest sold at the auction. Duh. I mean, yeah. He's a spitting image of his grandfather, honestly. You know, he gives you an answer, but you have more questions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just kind of crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing the stoof.com thing next weekend. Maybe I'll reach out to Jeep Girl Jody and her husband and see if they want to jump on or if any somebody else. Oh, Lily Bell, I'm sorry I missed you. Um, there's another person, Colorado Mike, I believe it was. I met out in Vegas. Him and his wife, they're a really nice couple. He was asking me all kinds of questions. He goes, I honestly don't really keep up with anything. So he was like, he was like drilling me. So yeah, it's, you know, it's been kind of fun. There's Trusted Living. Hello, Trusted. Yeah, I just wanted to chit chat with you for a little bit and see where your head was at and all this stuff. Sounds like you've moving on, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I mean, nobody can blame you. I mean, what, 93% of the Chase community has moved on, if not more than that. Maybe like 98%. So, yeah.
It better be if it does come out to be something, it better be damn good.
Yeah. Um, it's definitely been talked up to where, man, well, it's like stoof.com. So think about the Shiloh, fun and answers. Well, stoof.com kind of has downplayed the end game to stoof.com. Like you may not get any clarity. So if the game's not for you, then don't play. Kind of, sort of, in a roundabout way. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what?
I feel like I didn't sign up for the mind games.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, I sure as heck didn't either. I mean, it didn't take me long to realize there was a lot of things going on, uh, towards the end of 2019, I just got in it in the summer, like Memorial Weekend, 1st of June. And by what, November, December of 2019, I already realized, oh man, this is for real. All this drama is going on. So yeah, I sure didn't sign up for that. So we actually have a Boone County treasure hunt in Missouri here, getting ready to start.
How much is that for?
30,000. So it's done by the Historical Society and a jeweler here in Columbia is putting up the jewels and stuff. Like the diamonds worth 10,000. I think there's some other things. And that's supposed to start July 13th. I haven't bought in yet, but I'm going to because it's local. It's really steep. It's $100 just to get in, but it's all for the society, I guess.
Is that the county that you live in?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
It'll be fun. And I kind of told the family, and they're like, they just kind of rolled their eyes like, oh, great, here we go.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. So they already know about the chase. So now when I bring up treasure hunting, they're just like, oh, here we go. I told them we were going to have, well, depending on what the weather's like, I told them we were going to have like a bonfire out here and be up all night trying to figure this out. Some of them were excited, and some of them were like, "I'm pretty sure we're busy that weekend." Mm.
Is it something that'll be quick like that? Like a
Um,
weekend thing?
I don't know. It just depends. It depends on. There's going to be some puzzles and stuff like that. I don't know. Hey, cat, get in. I don't know if there's gonna be some puzzles and probably some ciphers, maybe some little ciphers. I mean, they won't make it too hard. So, but it's all based on Boone County history. So,
How long have you lived there?
oh gosh, in this area, I've lived
Yeah.
here, oh gosh, since 70. We moved to Centralia which is north of Columbia here, which is in Boone County. Oh gosh, that was in I was in 5th grade. Like 70. Oh my gosh, I can't remember back that far. I didn't want to go think about that far back.
It's your
Like around,
contest to win. I know that.
huh?
I feel like you have good chances.
Yeah. Yeah, but when it comes to ciphers and codes, oh my gosh, you can get stuck pretty easy. And plus it's just a lot of, your mind is constantly going. Yeah, it should be fun. Looks like we have some more people in here. Let's see. I don't know if I need to pay attention to chat better. See if there's anything I'm missing here. Why are you guys allowing these effed up people spoil your experience in the chase? The haters do not represent Forrest or the chase. Not sure who she's referring to. Well, I guess Jack Daniels, old number 7, whoever that is. Um, I've never banned anybody, honestly. I've never really had to. Galaxy reminds me of my granddaughter's husband when he talks. That's what Glenna Friedman said. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten on the phone. They're like, "Well, ma'am, I'm not sure how to help you." I'm like, "Well, I'm not a ma'am. I'm a sir." I'm
Really?
like, yeah. It's like, really? Do I really sound like that? Maybe I do. I don't know. I bet Shiloh is playing with. I don't know. So yeah, I just wanted to. Oh, I know something I wanted to share that this is something I've recently noticed. Oh, great. I hope I didn't get rid of it. So let me share screen. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, there's nothing up there. Okay, share screen. So can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the guy. I am the man from back east. I read through this the other day, but I didn't pick up on anything new. Um, I like the media contacts, Mr. E, what that is, but what I didn't pay attention to before that I paid attention to now is this 7/1/2020, 1400 hours, United States, Maine, Augusta. So Augusta, Maine. So I was like, Augusta, Maine, where's that? Okay, I know where Maine is, but where's Augusta? So can you see that now, the map?
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, right below Augusta is Gardner.
Huh.
What was it on page 133? Captain Kidd, Gardner Island.
Oh, yep.
So for Gardner Island, oops, oh, what did I do that for? Okay. Anyway, let's Gardner Island. Not Gardner Island, but Gardner, Maine. Okay, well, let's just go south to Gardner, Maine. Well, let's see. I thought it was interesting. The area code is 207, and the zip code is 043, or the first 3 numbers. 04345. 04343. What is that? DC, Dan Cooper?
Huh.
I don't know if anybody else has thrown that ever out there before. I thought it was interesting. Maybe all a bunch of coincidence. I don't know. But I just throwing that out there. Thought it
When did
was,
that article come out?
it said 7 uh July 1st, 2020. Well, it says update to the recent discovery. Well, I'm assuming that was the original date, 7/1. 1700 hours would be 7. So take
You know,
that for
I
what's that?
I feel like I remember that picture being shown with a claim that they found it before it was actually found.
Was it? Well, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, it's been so long since I looked at it, but I happened to be looking at it the other day and I was like, I didn't do anything with the whole Augusta, Maine thing. When I looked up Augusta, Maine to see exactly where it was at, I was like, oh my gosh, Gardner is right underneath of there. Then I'm looking at the zip code and the area code. I'm like, 043, interesting. Well, I mean, Augusta is the same zip code, 043. It's just different number, you know. They're all
Uh,
close together. But you've got DC, Dan Cooper. If Ben and Alan didn't know that, it's probably blowing their mind right now. I have to look at chat. Oh, wrong window. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. What do you think about that? You think it's just
sounds like
silliness?
I
Silliness?
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like this. I've always felt like there's a bunch of little breadcrumbs and what to do with those little breadcrumbs. Because a lot of them are closely linked together. But I don't know. I've got nothing.
Hmm. Could it be just like everything else? That there just always is something that kind of pops out to you.
Possibly. Yeah, it could be just that. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I wanted to catch up with you and see where you were at and kind of let you know too that I've been a little distant, but not too distant. It's kind of slowing down for me anyway.
I think for me, it's just been so busy too that I just don't have time to spend watching the other shows
Oh,
and being on Discord.
I agree, man, because there's sometimes I've got to put down my phone and get something done, my work requires I have to stay on top of things. Being a graphic designer and stuff like that, one little mistake and I just ran 5,000 copies with the wrong copy on it. That ain't good.
Oh.
I have to stay on top of things.
And another thing, it's like every headline that I see, a title for a upcoming show it's always making it seem better than what it actually is. And then you
Mhm.
watch it for 2 hours. And there's not even anything that I can even retain from it because there's nothing important really.
Right. It's not not usually something new. It just said in a different way, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Like
agree.
I know there was a show about your show.
What's that?
There was a show about your show,
Oh
or
yeah.
at least you were in a title,
Oh yeah. Who was doing that?
wasn't it? Cow lasers.
Oh yeah, Christy and them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would
I didn't even watch that one, but I'm just kind of assuming it was the same old.
Yeah, they were just going over what Lee had said, what she talked about with Shiloh. The funny thing was she wasn't even expecting to talk to Shiloh. I mean, yeah, there was that hope that she might get a chance to talk to Shiloh, but when she called, because she was contacting him about flooring, which is really funny because I've been wanting to do our foyer up in upstairs, and it's just a small foyer, it's just when you first walk in, there's tile. I've been wanting to replace a tile. And I was like, I had that thought, man, I'd like to get some wood from Shiloh. And when we were out there last year, I just assumed the showroom was still there in Santa Fe, but it wasn't there. Um, so I didn't get that done. But I was thinking, yeah, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't cost that much to put some of the old wood in there. Be kind of cool. But yeah, Shiloh answered the phone and she got to talk to Shiloh. So now there's a lot of people that don't believe that she did. It's all, hearsay, but you know, I think I believe her. I definitely believe her.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. She's definitely always on the level playing field. So yeah, that's somebody else I've become friends with too, just kind of out of the blue. So like I
Yeah,
said,
that's been kind of the only positive over the last 4 years.
hmm Oh, I agree. I think we all have, like I said, I've never jumped on streets stream. I've always considered it. It was always late at night or I had something going on. I was, busy with family. I could listen in on my phone a little bit every once in a while. But, I just knew not to get too tied up in all that where I'm always online all the time. You know, some people like doing that stuff. I know your kids are, getting older, so they're busy.
Yeah.
And especially with summer right here. Oh my gosh. I know you got to be really busy.
Yeah, I've been having them a lot more too, just taking them swimming and fishing and playing basketball outside.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly where you should be. And maybe because of the chase, you probably learned to even appreciate that a little bit more.
I don't think
Huh.
I needed that,
Okay,
to
well,
be honest.
maybe you didn't need that, but I'm just I didn't mean it that way, but
To be honest, it's funny because I wouldn't say it's a pet peeve,
uh,
but I don't like hearing people say give Fenn so much credit for certain things like that,
yeah,
like being out in nature, um, spending time with your family.
yeah.
I'm just saying I don't think any of us needed that to happen for us to know that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I see your point there. I mean, I've thought about it many times, well, if I hadn't jumped into the chase, there's a lot of things that wouldn't have happened for me, that I've come to appreciate, that I wouldn't have probably appreciated before or hadn't even had that forethought. But now I do, it's it's like I was never, oh, here's hammer time. I was, never into gold panning or anything like that, or never had the desire to go to the Rocky Mountains, but my gosh, I'm glad I did. And because what if I had never made that, made that trek across there and done all that and saw all everything I saw, you know. I'm sure at some point in time in my life I would have made it to like say Yellowstone, but it wouldn't have happened as fast as what it did. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Hammer
hear you.
time?
Oh,
I was talking to Hammer. Sorry, Hammer time.
you're good.
Can you hear? He's probably getting set up. Um, oh, but so recent, did I tell you that I bought Toby's gold sluice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've managed to run it a couple of times, just having fun with it. So that's something else I wouldn't have probably, well, I know I wouldn't have done, you know. So I had that opportunity of getting a hold of that and kind of having fun with it. And matter of fact, I got a buddy at work, you know, he's got some land up north, and he was like, you know, I want to be at my sister's. He goes, there's a creek up there at my sister's, and I wouldn't doubt if there's not some, you know, gold flakes or, you know, gold powder up in there. So he's gonna pick up some because it's got some real black dirt. So that'll be fun. See, things like that I would have never done had it not been for the chase. So there's been some good things. The downfall is we don't really have the answers. And so can you hear me okay, Hammer time? Chris? You can hear me, but we can't hear you.
Hmm.
He looks like he's in a padded room.
How can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you, and I couldn't hear myself.
Yeah. So I've got
I heard you.
Galaxy on. I've got Galaxy on. You've never met him, so he's been on several times. Well, quite a lot of times with me. He did.
Hello, Galaxy.
How you doing?
I'm
I feel like
doing
I have
good.
met you.
I think we chatted once.
Maybe I'm just remembering you being on, but I thought I was on too.
Well, you might have been, honestly, now that I think about it. You know what? I think you dropped off because we were talking so much stoof.com.
Oh, yep. That's right.
Galaxy is not a fan of stoof.com.
That's unfortunate. What
He,
else is there to love right now, honestly, though?
That just, to me, just seems like a bunch of randomness.
I could see that. Yeah, you kind of had to be like in it from the beginning and then from another beginning. And then it's weird because I see there's a lot of people that are reluctant to even talk about stoof.com because there's just so much information on there that, you know, it's like I was listening to y'all talk on my way home earlier, and you were talking about, you know, it's repetitive. It's everything's the same over and over and over again. Stoof.com kind of is that. It leads you into a lot of paths that are redundant from maybe the Forrest Fenn universe when it was alive. And you're going to see a lot of the same stuff, but it's puzzling enough to where you sort of get the feeling that maybe you got whenever you were searching for Forrest Fenn's treasure. But it's one of those things where you just have to accept it, because if you don't, then it's just annoying because it's a bunch of items. You don't know what they mean. You don't know why they're there. And but most of it's
you don't get any confirmation at all. That's what I was telling Galaxy. The only confirmation you get is there's a rabbit out there. The only confirmation you get is the movie, the speech out of the movie. Maybe it's the timestamp that you get out of the movie, and then you get the song and the timestamp of the song. Other than that, you have no clue of what's going on. It's a bunch of random stuff just thrown in a room. And yeah, there's a lot of pairs, a lot of doubles going on. You got to match this with this. So it's a lot of pairing. I don't get it. Like I said, I was telling Galaxy, I just give you my info a lot of times, or I share it on Discord. That's about all I do with it.
You know what I would like that
What's
would
that?
really get me is if stoop.com had like quotes from the book or something in the illustration that pointed to where it was, you know?
Yeah.
Like give me stuff from the book that meant something.
Well, what's weird is
Or
what's weird is a lot of it's not from the book per se, but it's from scrapbooks. So there's scrapbooks in play. But that's, that I don't know if did you ever get into scrapbooks much Galaxy?
yeah, I did.
Yeah. So there is the scrapbook element um of that. So yeah, I know. And like I said, there's a lot of people spending a lot of time on it. I'm just not that person, but um I've told myself don't do it, just anyway. But yeah, Hammer Time and I got together and we had a good time, and I've just, just another friend along the way that I've, he's a big DB Cooper guy. Did you see what I shared a while ago with the whole man from back east? Chris,
Are you talking about the
Augusta, Maine, Gardner,
I didn't see
Maine.
it.
You didn't see it? Oh, you're gonna have to watch it. It's got DB Cooper all over it.
You already know. I'm the same way that I'll go look for Forrest Fenn videos. I'll go every day and see what's new within DB Cooper. Obviously, I'm on top of it. And there's a Facebook group that is just like our Discord group in a way, but it's Facebook instead, and they are just the same way. They got kind of like all their own things going on, but everything's sort of acceptable in that group. They're still bickering and fighting. They're still dumb theories. They're still smart theories. It's the same thing. You can do so much when there's a mystery that someone else created already. You can explode within it. It's insane. It was what I've learned. So everybody within that community that is like, I would say an influencer, maybe Eric, Nikki's in and out of Discord, or he used to be. I think he got banned, but he's more of your funny guy, jester, troll. He's back and forth between DB Cooper. He knows a lot about Forrest Fenn, and he knows a lot about DB Cooper. People like that are suspicious to me. Like, how you have a lot of passion to get into both of those at the same time. You have to have a lifestyle in order to do that too. And both of them do it. Eric's all in on DB Cooper. Nikki is full in on DB Cooper, and he's still doing Forrest Fenn stuff. And it's crazy to me how much time he puts into it. I do the same for Stoof.com, Forrest Fenn, and DB Cooper. I am constantly in Discord seeing what's new in the chatter. I'm constantly refreshing Stoof.com, which I don't have to do anymore because they tell us when it's going to update. But I'm constantly in the website looking at all the items like it's a highlight magazine. Like I'm reading a magazine as I'm a kid, because everything is something new every day, and I can connect it to this, and it's a new, maybe false idea, but I am keeping myself entertained while the stuff is going on, and I don't have to listen to anything that's going on around us that we don't need to hear.
Yeah.
And that's really doing its job.
It's funny getting Chris's messages, because he'll give me a message and I'll go, ha ha, or he'll give me a message, LOL, and then it's next message, ha ha ha. And it's like he always throws that DB Cooper element in there. But Galaxy, I was going to tell you about Chris is, so Chris goes back into DB Cooper stuff as far back as Stephanie 30 Acre and Mindy. So, I think you work with them a little bit?
I didn't really work with them. We were just before it was Chase Chat, so we would message between there or Facebook. But I kept the DB. So here's what happened. Like I put in the DB Cooper thing a long time ago, and I got backlash for it, and so I sort of stepped back. I I brought it into the community. I didn't bring it to Forrest. I didn't bring anything to Forrest other than what I was doing. Like, I didn't come to him for answers. I told him what was going on, type things. And so I never brought it to him, but I hinted at him in my emails, obviously, the same way he's hinting at stuff into the public as we did. But when I brought it onto like Dal's site, it was immediate backlash. Like, no, this ain't going on in here. And then I bring it over to Chase chat. You know, stuff goes in and out the ear over there pretty quick. But, you know, it got noticed enough to where in the future, when all of this stuff did come out, I would have messages in my inbox from people that were part of that group that were like, hey, this is going on. Are they getting all this information from you? Because you were talking about DB Cooper all this time, and now all of a sudden it's a big deal. And so I took a step back, and I don't really know how they got. All I did was introduce to the community and was like, hey, this is weird. I'm seeing a lot of hints with DB Cooper and Forrest Fenn. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we should take a look at it. And then nobody really bit. And then I was just more of trying to be a player in the game at that point with everybody, just giving off my own ideas, listening to other people's ideas so I can create new ideas too. And that's really what brought me to DB Cooper. And the Chase overall and the Stoof.com is sort of the same exact routine. It's probably the same thing that people get out of XTMS or even any other armchair treasure hunt. It is an armchair, but I don't really know how to explain it overall so that way everybody gets it. But I do want everybody to be involved because for me personally, it feels fun. Like if you were to tell me what is fun and there was nothing to do, this would be fun. And my idea, I have the internet and now it's taking me to places. I'm a surfer on the internet for real at this point.
Right.
And it's just a game. But
Yeah,
other
I
than
mean,
all the other,
like I said, I jump into it every once in a while and kind of go down a rabbit hole or just notice something, you know, try to put this together, that together. Not that I'm helping out any at all, probably confusing more than anything. And you know, Discord in itself is kind of confusing anyway, because somebody can have a good idea yesterday, or heck, they could have had one 6 months ago. It was all on top of what was going on, and it's already gone and forgotten, you know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Well, they put the volcano up there. So, oh, by the way, if you didn't catch Greg's show last night, which is not up there now, he got taken down because he went over the top, like Greg does, you know, and got his video taken down. It was pretty good because Ben from Treasure Warriors was on there later, and he mentioned something I thought was kind of funny, and it was tied into the volcano, but he mentioned nuclear bomb, and I'm like, huh, that sounds like the volcano timeline. That's the first thing I went to, is like, okay, you got the volcano timeline, and now Ben just brings out the nuclear bomb. Probably nothing.
So, well, I like those because there was a theme in Dal's website when you'd go into the forum that Goofy actually was in charge of all of the forum content. So if anything was out of line, Goofy would have his terminology, he called it nuke. And he would hit the nuke button if he was going to ban you. And that happened to me a few times. But he would just, that was the term, getting nuked. So if you go back and search the term nuke within Dal's website, and you'll find so many just get ready for the nuke posts. It was kind of funny to watch, but all of it came from what's his face, Goofy, and I don't know who he was.
Who is Goofy?
But Goofy, you remember Goofy Galaxy?
No, who was he? I hear a
He's
lot
the one
about
everybody's
him.
he's the one everybody's tried to figure out. Matter of fact,
yeah, he was a searcher, or he was a moderator of Dal's website. Nobody really knows like who he is. He went by the handle of Goofy, and he nuked people, and he was pretty serious about it. He ran a what would you call it, a tight ship, is what he did. So anything that was out of line in that box, he had all of it. So I assume that Forrest or whatever was going on, that was like the beginning where I like to talk about how this chase bloomed, and this is like the beginning seed to where everything was 100% controlled on the forums. And so if anything got out of line, you didn't have any chance. You also had to get approved to be on Dal's site as well. Like you had to go submit your email and had to get approved. And then if you got shadow banned, then you would have to wait until your comment got approved to be appeared on there. So it was constant trying to fight. Unless you were talking about butterflies and rainbows, if there were any conspiracies going on, they didn't match with the tone, then you know it was you were toast. It was only one general chat. Everything else was off of a different topic. It was either a scrapbook or whatever had going on that was published in that time, and there wasn't any real good format to it either. But it, to me, it was the beginning, and then a lot of people got banned out of there because, of course, all kinds of emotions happen in this in any way, and they kept all of the emotions out. And if you were respectable, you became like a known person in there, and then it carried over into other venues like Chase Chat or Harry's Chase Forum or Facebook, wherever forum was, and it became YouTube and videos. And I'm surprised TikTok hasn't kicked off yet with some Forrest Fenn data, but yeah, I mean,
I stay off TikTok.
Huh?
I stay off TikTok. I don't get involved in all that stuff.
I'd be going through TikTok and seeing all kinds of stoof.com stuff. It's insane. So
Really?
I don't know.
So
I
you were
probably
talking
should take
about,
off of that thing too.
you mentioned Goofy, so I was going to say, I was just looking at this today, Scrapbook 158. It's the, so that's the picture I chose from my video today. But if you notice, second post was made by Goofy on that scrapbook. So yeah,
What's his comment say?
it says, "Dang, he took the large gems out. I was going to hang them from my mirror in the truck next to the dice." So yeah,
I want to go down through a couple of these names and see if I recognize, because I recognize Amy Schweitzer, I think. Tyler talks about her a lot, but I've not seen her active on forums lately. It'd be interesting to see her opinion of what's going on now if she's still out there. I
most of
believe she
them.
was a very early teacher.
There's Bill Gorman, William Gorman.
EC Waters, he was a very commenting person back in the day too.
Yeah.
There's Amy again.
Wendy
Amy
C.
again.
Well, what I thought was interesting, if you pay attention to their icons here, it might clue you into something, you know, down the road, you know. Like I was looking at Jeremy, you know, Jeremy's in here, you know.
Hey, stop there at Iron Will.
Iron Will, yeah.
Iron. All right, so go to his first comment real quick.
Let's see, was it back?
Yeah, right here. All right, this guy right here was a very, very active. All right, so if you're into, like, if you've heard the term of that the treasure was in a tree up high, this is where this comes from. Is from him, Iron Will. Basically, he thought that the treasure was in a tree when you look up. And it would be up there, and it was somewhere in the vicinity of Yellowstone. I remember him going boots on the ground. I emailed back and forth with this guy, and then he dropped off the face of the earth. But I wonder if anybody out there talks to him too, Iron Will.
I don't know.
Because that dude was hot into this, and I can't imagine that he just completely gave up, because this guy had some great ideas.
Yeah.
Where he was going, but I don't know why he left and thinks that it was found. But I guess Roll Tide. Look, there's Roll Tide there, but
I was going to tell you about Roll Tide. I was going to tell you about Roll Tide. I saw his name in here, and that's
not Roll Tide though. That's not Roll Tide.
It's different. Now I don't know. Maybe he changed it. Go ahead, Galaxy.
Did you just question that it was found?
Yeah, of course. Well, okay, so there's a different dimension of found and what you think happened, in my opinion. So
Galaxy's got good ears.
So I mean, it's stand-in. It's as simple as that. I mean, what the outcome is right now doesn't justify what happened. And it's just that, like, there's more money going into the end of the chase than it's gone into the beginning of it. And there's more money that's gone into the end of it than is worth the chest, the chest itself. And I'm talking about lead-ins of these things. So like a $50,000 reward for a spin-off of Forrest Fenn Chat that just disappeared. But the credibility behind it and where it came from is all the way up into the Mount Olympus of things that you couldn't even have any control over. So when those things lead into it, I'm just assuming that this is a bigger game than what we thought. And I just refuse to think that it's over and get mad that it's not answered. And I'm just going to play the game the way that it is. Part of me is promoting it that way too, because it's also annoying to me that people get mad over something that is out of their control, nor does it have anything to do with what maybe the game could be playing in that sense. So like, I have to find a pretty good example for this, and because it's hard, because everybody has their own opinion in this chase. But if you think that it was found and you're wanting answers, I would assume that that would be you just waiting and not having anything to do with what is going on around all of it. It's just, hey, it's over. I'm waiting for answers. And then everything that goes into it outside of that, I am still participating. I am still waiting. I am questioning everything. Those people have a whole different perspective of things, because you could say anything to them and then, you know, they're still going to have their own opinion. And so I don't know. I don't know how to convey this as I go along, other than the fact that I think that the outcome of what we're dealing with doesn't hold a candle against what happened. And any person, if you were a detective or an FBI agent or a 5-year-old kid, you could dig into this and know that something is fishy. Standing back and being patient and just waiting without saying anything is probably the best thing. But if you are doing that, then you also believe. And that tells me that you're halfway there already. You may as well just participate in the best way you can in hopes that you are participating and going to be involved in something big. Or you are not, and you're just going to forcefully regret it whenever it does happen or something.
Well, the thing is, we're just a bunch of nobodies, but we're somebody's in this chase along with this story, and wherever it ends. I mean, here it is. We've got DB Cooper FBI thing. We've got CIA. Forrest, was in the CIA. We don't know that story either. So you've got the DB Cooper, you got CIA. Those are pretty big stories that now, for the sake of argument, let's say something comes out. I'm not going to get any notoriety for being, part of this storyline. I'm not going to get any notoriety yet. Now, I've been part of it. I've been participating in it, per se. But as far as, anything coming out of it, my family's going to be, oh, so you messed around for 5 years and the DB Cooper case got solved or whatever. Well, it's not that I solved it, but or the story about Forrest and the CIA. It's not my story. I'm just here for this story, technically. Do you see where I'm coming from? You're quiet.
Yeah. No, I'm all the way through for anybody's idea. I just my thing is that what I just believe, it doesn't matter what's real. Just what I believe is that people have the opportunity to hop into something that they could be significantly a big part of, because of how big that maybe it's going to be. Even if there's 5,000 people that are a part of it, it's still bigger than that in a way. And I'm just saying that because we're all distracted in this world through other things, and it's constantly built onto our brains since the internet has been out, and we've been layered with these things. And eventually you'll be able to hop out of it and then realize, okay, well, there's fun in games and then there's reality. Maybe they do mix up at some point. Yeah. And they come to a convergence of, oh, all right, this is where it stops and ends, and then everything's revealed. The only way to get there is, you know, to either wait or, you know, participate to make it happen.
Right.
And
So Galaxy, you picked up on something Chris said earlier. Do you have any more questions about what he said?
Yeah. What's your opinion on Jack?
I think that Jack is, I think that he's a made up character in a way, okay? Meaning that the idea of him came a long time ago, before the chase had started. I think that you can find ways, if you decipher the poem, in ways to know that. Like Jack was plan B because no one found plan A. And then there was already a second reveal in the works that had been going on longer than the chest that you were looking for. So you were looking for a 10 by 10 box, and that was found. It should have been found earlier, but they made up Jack to find that so they can finish the story, which was the grand reveal, which was the way you needed that to open up this doors, basically. No one found it. And so Jack had already been created a long time ago because Jack's part of the system in which plays into the next part in the reveal. Now, if someone had found it, like a real person, like me or you or whatever, then the outcome could have been different. But there still would have been a grand reveal based upon maybe what the terms were if you found that. And that could also be what Jack's doing in my eyes, where he is unallowed. He sold his soul for however long until that next reveal happens, because the next reveal is so secret, no one can know. And he could possibly know something, but in order to alleviate that risk, he has to just zip it, no matter what. And so he's who he is. So I can't imagine being in that position. So if I don't imagine that and I play the game, then I imagine that no one found the chest, and then Jack was the stand-in as plan A, plan B type scenario. And then that is to be used as hints to get to the grand or second or whatever. They could be jars that give you X's and O's or something. I don't know. But I think that Jack is just there so that way we can keep playing. And Jack is just in our heads. He's just our imagination. He's just Fugazi. And if you believe that, you'll be able to see how like Stoof.com interacts with all of these people that are playing, because all of the people that are playing on Stoof.com, they don't really look at Jack the same way as maybe someone else would that is not participating. They just say that Jack found it and it's the end, and we're just waiting on a solution of how he found it. Why is that so hard? That is the question that people have been asking the entire time. Why is it so hard for them to tell us a solution? I mean, what do you think? Like, they're putting it off and putting it off, not because it's a scam or it's a hoax. Unless you believe that Finn was that way, then you have to believe that he was DB Cooper, right? So if he was this bad, awful person, he's trying to get you to think that already. Why can't you go already over to the edge and believe that, okay, well, if he's capable of doing this, maybe he's doing this so that we can see who he was, because he can't tell us who he was. And there's only so many ways to do things like that. And you don't want everybody to just be able to catch on. So people that do catch on end up keeping secrets too. And they don't let them out because they know what integrity is. They know what the integrity of substance is when it comes to revealing things. And Jack is not capable of keeping a secret like that in my eyes. He's capable of following orders, but I don't know if he's out there doing his doctor stuff. I mean, I have absolutely no idea what he's doing in this world. If he's saving souls or if he's spending his money that he made off of this treasure, I don't know. And to me, since I don't have that information, I can't go find. If I thought Jack Stoof was the best doctor in the world and I wanted to go find him to operate on me, like, wouldn't he want me to want him? Like, come on. And so all of that is just,
I don't think you can find Jack.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why is he going to medical school and then all of a sudden keeping a secret about this chess? And then the whole like thing about it doesn't even line up with anything other than the opinions of people of what they've created, and they already got ahead of it.
It's
And it
one
was
big elaborate hoax if that's all that's going on. I mean, it's
I would say that
kind of crazy to
you
even
could,
think about it.
yeah, but I mean, I don't understand the why people would even play if they don't believe that it can still be going on. That's my thing in a way. So to answer your question, the Jack was he was there for us to keep playing. Whether he's a human, he's able to keep the best secret in the world. I can appreciate that. Or he's in this NDA that he can't do anything about. I appreciate that. But I also, appreciate the fact that he's allowing me to play the game. And so whether he's alive or he's my stand-in idea, we're all still playing, that are playing, especially the people that play off of that. And there's a few people that believe that. And there's a lot more people that believe it now than they did before.
Right.
There was everybody. Jack found it. Now here we are 4 years later answering the same questions.
Well,
Maybe we should ask a different question.
I mean,
find it?
Let's go back to the original stoof.com. It was the greatest placeholder of all time. I mean, there's a story there. What all that story is, we don't know. So I know next week we're gonna have you back on, Chris, and we're gonna go over stoof.com. If there's anybody that you want to invite on, just let me know and we'll work all that out. But that's going to be our primary show next week. It's pretty much all about stoof.com and kind of, I don't know, answer people's questions if they have them that aren't typically part of the stoof.com thing. But did we draw you in, Galaxy, at all?
Unfortunately, yeah, you did.
How did we do that?
Well, he makes me feel like I'm not participating.
Well, not like that. I use stoof.com as a bridge to keep playing, that it's there. But I use that because of what you just said, Brian. And I believe in my heart, in my playing game, that this website was there to be here now, meaning it was the greatest placeholder of all time in the game. And then so I have to believe that in order to continue playing as well. Now I've linked our finder into his own website domain. This is the only way that I can find Stoof in a believable way. So if he's in Puerto Rico or if he's doing doctor stuff in the underground world of Mexico, I don't know. But if I wanted to go find Stoof, I could go to stoof.com and start playing with it, and maybe he answers me if I say the right thing. But that's just the game, right? There would be no reason for me to find stoof.com in real life. Otherwise, why would he give me the solution versus Shiloh? Why would he give anybody any information versus the media? He could go and get $100,000 check to talk to ABC Morning News and reveal this grand solution, and everybody will tune in and they'll get their money back and everybody wins.
And that's the thing. Jack was supposed to be anonymous and just walk away and just never be seen from. But next thing you know, he outs himself. I'm sorry, but he outed himself. There was a way to keep his name quiet through the courts. I'm sorry, but that's a fact. He outed himself, and the next thing you know, he's asking questions on emails. I mean, you couldn't make this up. This ending is just ridiculous. So I was going to mention something about Galaxy, about the stoof.com thing. So what was interesting was I've heard him talk about Mr. Robot. I've never watched Mr. Robot before. Have you ever watched Mr. Robot?
No, I haven't.
Rami Malek. I just started watching it, and it's about the F Society. So, which is a real thing. Where I went from there was the book Ha Ha Ha. Who was the artist, Chris?
Greg.
Greg
Ellingson, I think.
Ellingson.
Yeah.
Greg Ellingson. Well, what's weird is the author is unknown to Ha Ha Ha. That's secret. But yet the artist's name is out there for everybody to see, which is magically kind of weird in a way. So I got to looking up his artwork. Just so happens his artwork is sold on a site called Society 6. Well, what is the sixth letter in the alphabet? It's a freaking F. F Society 6, Society 6. And I'm like, okay, I'm these people are drawing me in now. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, it will do you. Then it's
But
been
that,
like that for a long
I
time.
didn't even think about Ha 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 until pretty recently. I was like, I don't know, I Googled it for whatever reason. I don't know why. And I was like, wait a minute, I never picked up on the fact that they're showing the artist's name. Why would he want his name out there if the author's name's not out there? And didn't you say you reached out to Greg before?
No, I never reached out to him. It was more of just I seen how his whole thing, his demeanor was. There was no reason to reach out for what he was. I could have in the future, but I think other people have, and I piggybacked off of that already.
So on Discord, um what was it? Oh, recently Stoof.com Galaxy had some numbers up on, like if you highlight over it, it would show you these numbers. It's 4 numbers. Well, some
Yeah.
people putting on Discord, I didn't pay any attention to it. I was like, oh, I'll see what everybody's saying. Well, next thing I know, they're saying it's if you add them up, if you use the negatives, it comes to negative 404.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I didn't think too much about it, even being a computer person. But I was watching Stoof.com, and on the screen comes 404 not found.
Huh.
And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. I'm putting, this stuff together, but it probably means absolutely nothing. Well, the other thing I shared with Chris was if you add the numbers, the first number, 183, it came to like 13. And the second one was 12. The third one was some other number, which came up with a word called Melm, Melm.
Yeah.
Do you know what Melm means, Galaxy?
No, I don't.
Sandy soil, dry soil, sandy soil. Okay. What do we know about the pictures from the court hearing? They were in dry dirt, sandy dirt. 404, not found. And I'm like, is it all just a coincidence? Probably. I don't know.
Those are just good things to even say if you want to hop back into it for people, like Galaxy, where you're kind of on the fence of things. When you come across, that's Finn speak. That's how it works. If you're
Here it
going
is,
through
Galaxy.
yeah, and it's a cipher that's not a cipher. They're basically able to turn live communication in through data that's already been set in our history. It's crazy. So like you'll use in stoof.com, you'll use a song to find a scrapbook because of a word that was in the song and that matched the scrapbook that you used to find from a Mr. Robot clip. That's why it's fun, is because you start connecting. And I use the term acrobat a lot with my brain because that's what it feels like it's doing. I'm just doing a bunch of yo-yo maneuvers inside my head, but it seems like it's coming together. And that may be the reason why people are feeling like something is going to happen soon, is because all this data has been mowed over, and now we can have an actual feeling of real vibes of what to come. And now they know that we feel that too, I assume. Whoever is creating the back end of this, I don't know. My opinion of it would be, if I just used my own path of logic I've went through, was that Forrest had either somebody behind that he dearly trusted, or a set of instructions that excluded any great information, and he got away with it, type thing. And so that's what we're dealing with. But I think names and people that are part of it are starting to maybe reveal themselves that haven't supposed to say that they were part of it as well. And that's why I think people are coming to the conclusion that things are getting closer to happening, because there's not a lot left to do. There's really not. And the time's running out, obviously. So some point, that if someone knows and there's not a rule to say anything, that not everybody's going to be able to keep their mouth shut. It just ain't going to happen unless there's 50-year NDAs, and that's what's happening. But you can go both ways. But as to Brian's point, the 404 not found in dry soil, we're dealing with Stoof directly here. We can't go find him in the world. He's not at Epstein's building in New York anymore. We don't know if he's in Puerto Rico. We can probably go down there and try and find. I mean, it's a damn state. It'd be like going to my state, Oklahoma. He's not in Yellowstone. He's not at Finn's house. We don't know his phone number. All we know is Stoof.com that he used whenever before he found the treasure. But now he's telling us that he didn't find it and where he didn't find it at. So in my eyes, and this sounds like if I'm out of church and Jesus is talking to me in a way, but you can look at it that way. If you have that type of faith going on in your life, maybe you can channel a different whatever, it's just, mimic it, in a different way. It's a game, pretend like you're a kid, and there's this fantasy to get you back in the game. But once you get back in the game, then you got to go back to, this guy if he was DB Cooper, or if he knew anything about DB Cooper at all, tell me how long he kept that secret and how he was able to do that. No. God. With all of the stuff that surrounds that, you didn't let one single thing slip. Come on. It tells me that it didn't happen in a way, but it also tells me that thing did happen. It all happened. We don't have any answers.
Here's something else I thought about the whole DB Cooper thing. It's kind of like in our world. You and I've talked about this, Chris. Galaxy, we have to. There's things that happen in our life that we look at it, and it's like, oh man, did that just happen? Is that part of what's going on now? Am I seeing this because it's trying to tell me something? Or you know where I'm coming from. But maybe that's what happened to Forrest in his life. Maybe he was seeing those numbers, 423 a lot. Maybe he was seeing 43 a lot. Maybe he was seeing maybe those numbers just popped up, and maybe they weren't anything but just numbers. But to him, they were something because, he knew about DB Cooper. I'm just throwing that out there that's a possibility. It's like me looking at a license plate when I drive by and it's got BG on it. Well, that doesn't mean nothing, but it does say BG. Or if I see I've been seeing a lot of JFs recently. Okay, JF is what's on the treasure chest. The initials JF. Doesn't mean anything, but now all of a sudden I'm seeing JFs everywhere in Colombia.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 26 letters in the alphabet, though, so it's pretty easy to memorize 26 different identities on, and so it becomes forcefully in your face. I think someone was asking me what my screen name was on DAOs. It was Hammertime. I went as Hammertime. I think I went under.
You said you pretty much always used that.
Yeah, I've used. I went under One-Eyed Willie one time, but I spelt it weird. I think. I think I only use that on Chase chat. But yeah, I've been as Hammertime since 2014. I haven't really changed much.
Says, I got a question here for you. Galaxy, do you have any other questions?
No, I can't think of any right now.
Okay. But we've got you hooked now?
Yeah, I look at it a little different. I feel like the only person we should be listening to should be Fenn.
Yeah.
And
Or Shiloh.
I don't even, I
You don't think
don't
that either?
even, no, not, well, I'm not going to take him out of the equation, but,
Hmm.
you know, as it's been found and years have went by, I feel like your perspective changes. So if you were to read back everything that he's written or said,
Hmm.
it is interpreted differently, and that might help you figure out what possibly is happening right now.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it'll be fun, I think. Fun and answers, right? Fun and profit.
Well,
Everybody wants to profit.
the way Lee put it was, Shiloh kind of said something about fun coming, but supposedly answers was questionable. So
Wasn't that something to do with the 9 clues or
yeah. She made the comment about, well, I hope you don't give out the 9 clues because I'm still trying to solve this thing.
So
So
I have a theory on the 9 clues. Like the 9 clues is a decoy, okay? Like there's way more clues than just 9 to get you there. The 9 is important as like maybe a number whenever you come across something and you see 9, sure, yeah. But in its direct term, if you go like there's not an actual 9 clues. If that was the case, then I suppose that could have been shown already. I'm not sure there's an actual formula to the poem other than being able to use it for everything it's possibly being able to be used for. The 9 sentences, every comma, everything that can be done within it, going backwards, going forwards. That's many more things than just 9 things. And 9 is in another language that means no. Like, come on. And he never used the actual symbol of 9 as a number when he wrote it out. It was 9. And it's an anagram of no in German. And so I encourage people to at least think of that if you're still like thinking the 9 clues. The reason why Shiloh can get away with saying I don't have to share the 9 clues is because there's fucking 9 million of them. There's so many ways that you can do anything with this poem that it's going to overshadow 9 clues. You're not going to know which 9 to use or anything like that. All of that matters. Is just what I'm saying.
right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. It's 8:30 my time. I think it's 8:30 your time, and it's 9:30 for Galaxy. So yeah, Chris, just get with me sometime this week and just kind of, you can talk to whoever, and if you want to include a couple of people, just let me know.
Yeah, anybody that's watching that wants to hop in on the action too. Yeah,
and we'll keep it.
Don't be shy.
We'll kind of try to keep it to like an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah, I'll get some good stuff that we can really talk about and zone in on too, where it's like matterful, especially for Galaxy, where you can hop in. I'll see if I can find not like shortcuts, but give you some good ideas of matches, maybe give you a head. But I don't know if are you in Discord, Galaxy?
I'm not.
No. Well, if you do hop in there, there's a lot of good conversations that are constant going live all day long. There's a lot of weird things that happen in there in Discord, but
Galaxy's like,
fun in there.
I know Galaxy's like, oh no, this ain't gonna happen.
He's like, I'm over the top, so just don't feel any pressure from me. I ain't crazy. I'm like a little wasp or a bee just flying around buzzing. I ain't gonna sting you. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised how long you'd kind of been in the chase and, kind of a quiet one per se, kind of sort of. I mean, like I said, you were what, 2015, 20 or before, no,
In
20,
the end of
2012,
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, that kind of surprised me, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a few people that are hanging around still.
Yeah. I'd
T
say about
Denver's.
2%,
Hey,
if that.
yeah. I wonder where everybody just left. I don't know why I was just the only one that hung around. Even Steph and Mindy, I figured they were, but I don't know. Maybe they'll see something like
Well,
this and get the.
I think they just got tired of the beating up of each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
And that
true as well.
it's starting to build back up again. And, I have to honestly say, every once in a while I get a strange email, and, all you can do is just ignore it and move on. That's the part of the problem, putting my face up here and my email out there is, yeah, I tend to get every once in a while a strange one, but for the most part, everybody's, they put comments on my videos. I do pay attention to them every once in a while, but I just kind of ignore them, or I just like, oh, well, thanks, appreciate it. I'll try to do better next time or something.
I got blocked on Facebook this morning because I was critiquing somebody's. I wasn't really critiquing their book. They were just putting facts in there, so I was just mocking them a little bit, playing with them like I always do. Harmless. They even responded. They gave me 2 responses off of my, and they were nice too. And then I go to respond and like it, and it's like I couldn't even like it, and I had already been blocked. I was like, damn, he went all through this trouble to respond and then just blocked me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, all right. Nah, it's a crazy world. I'm crazy with it too. I accept it.
Well,
But
this is the first night that I've actually got rid of one person and timed out somebody else. I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but
oh, in chat.
yeah, in chat. It's the first time ever I've had to do that. Other than, I think when I first went live, or second time I went live, there was like some porn bots in there.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how do you get rid of these? And they were trying to tell me in chat how to get rid of them.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
It was kind of annoying. Anyway, Galaxy, you have anything you'd like to say before we get off here?
No, nothing in particular.
Yeah. So where you stand out on the two chest theory? Are you still there, or
I still am. I just don't talk about it because I don't think it interests that many people.
yeah.
But it's crazy to me that Fenn cast bronze and people can't even think of that as a possibility.
I agree. We've talked about that, yeah. I mean, in the fact that he had somebody else, well, maybe it was Chris Jones, maybe it was Forrest to reach out to Chris Jones. We still don't know that story yet. And there's still a slim possibility that Chris Jones could have something to do with Stoof.com. So
We have how many people within the community? I mean, there's at least hundreds, right? That could potentially be as a resource to find these people. These people are either clearly ignoring us or they don't exist. I'm not sure which one to even believe at this point. Like, do we get a hold of, and who do we believe? Or are you real? Like, do I just see a picture of you? Do I hear a voice of something? Can I go shake your hand? Like,
yeah.
Stuff like that is matterful, I suppose, but only whenever it matters. At the top of it, where you're getting really good information or true information, should be from someone that is not just a face on the computer. They have credibility. And Shiloh's like that in a way.
Yeah.
He's got he's the grandson, but he's also has a multi-million-dollar business. He doesn't have time to really bullshit. And I feel like that if he is capable of bullshit, he already knows the type of bullshit he needs to project. It's already like predetermined bullshit, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And that's why we're having fun. Fun.
Well, with that note, I guess we'll get off here. I don't have really final thoughts. I kind of shared what I was wanted to share. other than be safe, be kind, be positive, and have fun.
I
That's,
agree. Thank you
that's
for
the way
having me.
that's the way I take life anymore.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's too easy to get worked up about things, and it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, the internet's crazy for that, huh?
I mean, you
We
can
used
let
to
it
be
get
able
that
to
way.
prank call people and have fun. Now we can't. We can't prank internet people anymore, I guess. How do you
Right,
prank
right.
it?
It's kind of like when you kind of disagree with somebody's opinion, like on Discord or something, you have to you got to do it delicate because man, they take it the wrong way. I'm like, I'm not trying to be personal here. I just giving you a different way of looking at this,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. Yeah. Well, it's great to talk to you, Galaxy. I'm glad you're hanging around. You sound like you have a pretty good emotion into this chase in a way from the tone of your voice, not from the tone, but I don't know, I sense that you're like you really want to know what's going on in a way. So
I've just spent so much time. I just don't want it to all be wasted, you know?
yeah. I agree. If I can have anything to do with it at all and the help with all of y'all, then I believe that everybody will get a chance at the, um, what they want. Honestly, everybody's right. If that makes sense. It's never been done, but it's gonna happen.
So I asked somebody from Discord just recently, it was just yesterday. I'll ask you, I'll ask you. So how many DM guesses have you sent Stoof Admin? Just out of curiosity.
How many have I?
Yeah.
How many
I mean, I
DM
assume
guesses?
people are. I assume people are.
Oh, I've not sent any DM guesses. I DM Stoof to maybe like create chatter. I don't know. I'm a personality person, so I will look at the word the that you wrote me for 15 minutes to see why you put it in that place. So that way I can figure out who you are. And that's just how I play the game. That's to me not leaving anything on the table just in case. And
Well, because I was
so
going, go ahead.
I was just saying I haven't really guessed any names. It's more of just trying to see what is going on the same way everybody else is. I
I
don't
don't know
really
if
know
you
what the
heard,
hell is
I don't
going
know
on.
if you heard earlier, but I because I was going live tonight and we were going to discuss a little bit of stoof.com, I thought I would send them a couple of messages
Oh.
just to see if I'd get anything back. So I was like, yes, this is yesterday at 5:55, which I thought that was ironic. I didn't plan it, but it was on 5:55. I said, just curious as to how many guesses have been made since the beginning of stoof.com to current date. And do you keep a tally? Just a random, stupid question. And I said, so I didn't get an answer. So at 9:05 last night, I said, hello, I know you're there. So then today, nothing. So at 8:55 this morning, I said, well, I'm waiting for some kind of reply, anything. Nothing. So I sent another message at 1:25 p.m. today. I said, going live tonight, anything you'd like to say? It could be answer to my previous questions, or here's a new one. Movie clip hint. Ha ha ha. Nothing. So then at 2:12, I said, I bet if I feed you tacos, you'd talk. Because the whole everybody loves tacos. And then nothing. And at 2:43, I said, I guess it is a holiday, so maybe you have the day off. So I didn't get anything. Nothing. I thought
And the last
maybe
one,
what's that?
so the last one was at 2:43
Yeah.
today.
No, I didn't get nothing.
Maybe they'll wait a day and they'll respond.
Yeah.
I would imagine that there's quite a few names, at least. I see the name Chris Jones thrown out all the time. You can go through the sus channel.
Oh yeah.
And then I bet a lot of those names are going to be in, and they probably didn't answer you though, because they're probably like, no, I didn't take a tally of this stuff. I wonder if they did though. Like all of, how many times was Chris Jones guest, you know?
Well,
Or,
okay,
you know,
here's the thing, Chris. Does Chris Jones have a middle name?
Vanetti? I don't know.
I'm sure that Chris Jones has a middle name. So wouldn't you need the middle name along with the Chris Jones?
Yeah, and that's got to be public information type, unless they're like these superior hackers that are gonna dox you like that. But I don't think they play that way.
I think some people, we'll just throw it out there. I think some people, are you under the opinion that it could have something to do with DB Cooper?
Yeah, absolutely. In some degree, yeah.
It's possible.
I think, all right, here's what so not necessarily DB Cooper. What I think is going to be found is DB Cooper evidence. That's what's not just DB Cooper revealed. Somebody is going to have control over the evidence.
Something.
Yes.
Whether they found another stash of cash, let's say, or something like that.
In a pot, like a pot he made out of his garage when he was 7. You know,
a pile of rocks. A pile of rocks. Okay.
Pile of rocks. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
I'm with you. There was something else I was going to say. What was it? Something about the DB Cooper thing.
You were asking if I believed it was something to do with DB Cooper, and we were going off of tallies from that, and Chris Jones, and then middle name.
I don't know. There was something I was going to add to the whole. I'll remember it for next week. Anyway, we'll do the same time next week, 7 o'clock, because you're in the you're Central Time Zone too. So, and Galaxy, you're welcome to just join in and listen if you want to.
Okay,
I'll look here.
I mean, you have. Let me tell you about Galaxy. Galaxy can remember things. Forrest finish. I mean, I have to like Google it or try to find it, and there's no Terry Scant anymore, so that's even worse for me. My brain does not work that way. But Galaxy, he can. If you say something, he can recite it. I'm just not like that. I wish I.
I'm not like that when it comes to anything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like these movie clips. It's like, I know I've seen this movie clip, but for the life of me, I can't think of where I've seen it. You know, I've even recently showed the last one that was Hustle from Adam Sandler on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I showed it to my daughter and my wife because they were the ones that was close to me. And she's like, well, I bet that's like at a basketball court or something like that. And I'm like, how can that be from a basketball court? I said, it looks like a door. It looks like a window frame with a curtain. And sure enough, it was a freaking basketball court.
and everybody's that way too. Like this scene, I don't know how much time is, but you could probably talk about and see how many people are even willing to go and check out and see what scene this is right now. But
nobody's figured it out, have they?
Okay, so the last scene, you could have got through a few things. You could have gotten it through the basket. You could have gotten it through the sand and connected the two, like sand and basket, maybe. But then you'd need like the movie. In that, where would you have a sand and a basket? You may think of beach, but then, you know, you got to connect the extra words. So you only got half of basketball, and then you got half of Adam Sandler, right? So then you need like lure and then ball or baller. Now you got a baller. We got a whole movie about a damn baller. So now you got basketball. So that's how they communicate with us. Then you can confirm it by going into another like avenue within Discord, maybe where they actually someone had hustle in there, like where it was like, because that's the name of the movie. It's one word, hustle.
Yeah.
The last 2 updates we had were about fat people in a way. It was weird. It wasn't about fat people. It was like one of the singers was the fattest person that ever sang a song in the world. And then the other song that they connected to,
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah, had a last name called Fat. And then the movie ends up being what was it, Secondhand Lions or something at that point. I can't remember. But it led into the next one because our word is hustle. Our key word is hustle, and our hustle keeps us lower and off the scale and things like that. But in general terms, that's with weight. And I think that that's where you're trying to get with, was to take the fat and then go down to something else, and then you end up finding the next movie scene. So I think now we have shades, like sunglasses and lighthouses. I'm guessing that maybe it has something to do with eclipse, or like like nighttime. It's a movie about nighttime, but we're in a daytime scene. Just things like that to connect.
Well, it's like the Hustle movie. So there was a lot of things I got out of it, like the message at the clip that Stoof.com gave us was a message about don't ever give up.
Yep.
You know, don't. And we get that a lot from Stoof.com is, you know, for the love of the game, blah 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 blah. Well, what I noticed from this movie also is there's a stopwatch in it. It says beat the clock. You know, it's about time. You know, we have an hourglass. You know, and yeah, there's so many different. Galaxy, you thought the chase had a lot of rabbit holes. Just this little website has a lot of rabbit holes.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
why I can't get into it.
Yeah, it is. Everything's just bright with it right now.
Like I said, I dabble in it, and that's about all I really do. I mean, I definitely don't. I'm not on Discord enough. I mean, I can be off Discord for 2 hours. Next thing I know, there's 200 messages that's went through. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
It's you know, I just don't have the time to go through all that, which I don't, you know. I usually ask my question, like, the only question I have is, what freaking clip is this? That's all I really want to know. The rest of you all can talk about all you want to talk about. I just want to know the clip.
And then once you know it, you're gonna wait. You're gonna be ready for the next update, like right away. Like, all right, I'm ready for this one.
Yeah.
I think it's possibly maybe a music video too. They've given us a TV series. We've got a lot of music, some music videos that are like ballads. We have AC/DC in this one, but we've already had an AC/DC song, which was Thunder, or whatever that song they had, Thunderstruck. And then now we have a tribute AC/DC song. That is a song that's tribute to.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't even bring it up.
Is it B Ryan? B Ryan is our new singer. Okay, this is where we get into names, and you may see Time in there a lot just because of my screen name Time in there. But I also see like a lot of other people in there, like Ben. I see Alan, obviously. You're in there. You're in a subtle way, and then we went and seen Roll Tide. Roll Tide is in there, God, in so many ways. So to me, it seems that the platform they are using is to communicate with people that are actively involved. And right now we're talking about Stoof.com on live TV, or live YouTube. They would be able to use this content because you could go back and see it's recorded. They could use something with it in this content to hint and communicate with us, because who else are they going to talk to? I mean, come on.
Right.
Are they trying to talk to the cops? Are they trying to talk to Wally? Who are they talking to? Are they talking to me? Are they talking to you? Like, come on. So you play that way, then we can say, like, this is Bear's idea too on Discord. If you get in Discord, Galaxy, you're gonna have to like come to terms with Bear in ways, because he's just this crazy weird bear, I guess. He's like a gatekeeper in a way. Any idea that you have is not going to be good enough. I'll just tell you that, no matter what. But he's not going to give you any good ideas either, and that's okay. We'll all share the ideas, and then eventually we become friends. But now sometimes he does have great ideas, but most of the time he'll break you down and then make you feel like you shouldn't be here. And you know, that's maybe part of the game in a way, but he's just giving it to you the way that Brutal Truth's name is, and a very kind way too. He's not an asshole about it, but you may take it that way. That's enough warning of him, though. If you ever get in Discord, you'll just have to deal with that. Only in Stoof, though. You don't have to deal with him anywhere else.
You know,
he's like our Goofy. Huh?
I was telling Galaxy, you know Bear, don't you?
He probably does.
Yeah. Oh,
Bear knows stuff. Yeah.
I love Bear.
Yeah.
I do like Bear. I don't message him enough. But he I don't know. He likes my ideas sometimes. I like his ideas, but it does get annoying and I don't know,
He's nice.
a lot of
He's
ways.
nice about it, but he's never wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah, ever.
That's the way to put it.
Even though he'll say he's wrong, he ain't wrong at the same time. Like, yeah, Whitney says just come in after 12 and you'll be fine. He does have a shift. He works until like noon every day, and then he hops on his motorcycle to go play some tetherball and then hit the gym and then come back home. And I think that's his daily routine. So I love it. I love it.
Roll Tide mentioned that the other day. He goes, "Okay, I'm done. I'll wait till you leave. I'll be back this afternoon." I was laughing so hard. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. I ended up going longer than I thought. Y'all take care. Have a good week. Galaxy, good talking to you, man.
Yeah, nice talking to you guys.
Yeah.
You too, Galaxy. Thanks for having me, Brian. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll hit you up, and then if you want to invite anybody, just let me know. And Galaxy, you're welcome to join in if you want to.
Okay.
All righty.
Sweet. See you,
All
Brian.
right,
Y'all have a
guys.
good night.
Yeah, thanks
good
everybody
night.
in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Have a good
Yeah,
week.
bye.